Hey everybody, I'm Isaiah and welcome back to my topic channel, or welcome to my topic channel. And we got some really cool news earlier today. If you guys don't know, early this afternoon, there was an announcement made by the rock band Rush, who I'm a big fan of. I love Rush. I think, all three of those guys are some of the best at their instruments. Um, they're back. And what I mean by that is Alex and Geddy are getting back together. They're going back out on the road on tour for the 50th anniversary, or the 50 something anniversary, as they're stating on their tour. It is called the 50th something tour. And I was really excited to see this news, because they really haven't been active much since the unfortunate passing of Neil Peart, who was their drummer. And Geddy and Alex kind of were just like, we're done, or so, we thought, and they thought as well. Geddy and Alex are the only two guys in Rush that are left. It was always, those two with Neil. So, thinking about continuing, you have to take into a couple of things. Like, number one, they lost their friend, they lost their brother, but then also, Neil wasn't just the drummer of the group. He was realistically the most, lyrically, attributed member. He was one of the main songwriters along with Geddy and Alex, and Neil actually wrote a lot of their stuff. Tom Sawyer was completely written by Neil. But you also lost like a business partner, you lost a friend, you lost a brother. And what they said in this video, which I'm actually going to play now again because I haven't seen the full video and I kind of want to get more into it since I was at work this morning. But I'm really excited, and they announced that they have a new drummer who that part I have not seen yet. But I was really excited to see this tour. So without further ado, let's just get into the video. It's called Geddy and Alex Send a Message to Rush Fans. Let's just play this real quick. Here we go. If I can get it loaded, yep. There we go. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. I love these guys.
Nah, that's a tight chord. That was way better than the other 15 times we did this.
Yeah, and it's amazing how hard it is to play one chord.
It is. I've discovered this in the last year.
What do you mean by that?
Well,
We're being coy.
I love Alex.
Something I want to talk to you about.
okay. Yeah.
You've been coming over to my house, and we've been coming down into the studio for years.
Years.
We wrote so many songs in here. You slept on that couch.
Memories.
And after 2015, there was a very quiet and a sad period for us. And when I think back to us doing the tribute concerts for Taylor Hawkins, we went out on stage and played our songs, first time in a long time. There was a special feeling attached to that. Bittersweet.
Yeah.
Because of obvious reasons. When we started jamming again down here, it was like a continuation of that moment. The more we played our old songs for fun,
Yeah.
the more fun it became.
Yes, exactly.
And I was surprised because you were getting even more excited than I was.
Yeah. I love playing them. I just love playing our songs.
I was getting
again.
And so
so
that's
excited
put
hearing
us in this
this.
terrible
I was
situation
just like, wait,
where
new
we
tour.
have
Has
to
to be new tour.
announce that we've made a decision to go back on tour.
Hi, we're going back on tour.
Yes.
So we'll see you soon. I think it's great.
Isn't it weird saying it out loud?
Yeah, it totally. We're musicians and we're players, and our music is special. It really is special. When being away from it for a while and revisiting it, I realized how difficult it is to play, but how rich it is in its music and lyrics and everything that it represented.
It feels great to say out loud finally that we're going to go on tour And we're going to play a lot of these songs.
Yeah. One of the cool things about how this is progressing, all the songs we're putting together, I don't know, 35 songs or so far, for a set that's going to be, I don't know, around a couple of hours, is the fact that we're going to cover a lot of things and change it up night to night, but we'll always have a part of the show that's a tribute to Neil and his memory of him and everything that he was to us. And it's going to be beautiful to be able to celebrate him every single night.
Yeah. But the biggest question is, the obvious question is, how do we replace someone who's irreplaceable?
They're replacing him with me. No, I'm just
Tom
kidding.
Scully, my bass tech, who had been on tour with Jeff Beck, and he had been working with this drummer named Annika Niles. And
I'll get into this more.
he mentioned that how impressive she was, how talented and, musical she was, and powerful. And I think you and I playing with her started to put a charge in us when we heard our song coming back to life. And it was only once we had those successful rehearsal sessions with her that made me feel like, yes, we can do this and we can do justice to this. And this is going to be fun.
Well, I felt exactly the same.
There's one other decision that is coming. I love the idea of being able to wander over to you, wander over to the drummer, and just be a bass player. So I think we will find ourselves adding to the band maybe a keyboard player. What do you think of an idea like that?
I think it's great. I think having a little time together at the front of the stage
I actually didn't know this
will
part.
be a lot of
It'd
fun.
be great. I think for songs like Tom Sawyer, et cetera, it's going to be important that I play those signature keyboard parts.
It will be very liberating for you, and we can start working on the dance routines that we wanted to do for so long. So it's amazing. This is going to be great. Just give me a hug.
I'm so excited.
Somebody get this guy out of
The
here. That's going to be
50-something
great.
tour. Yeah, so fuck yeah. Like that's just gonna be fucking awesome. And like again, like I'm a big fan of Rush, and I really do want to get to to some of these to at least one of these shows, because I feel like this is going to be one of those once in a lifetime things again. Like obviously many people had thought if you got to see Rush, from when they first started in the 70s up until 2015 on what ended up being their farewell tour, there was a bunch of people that were very much like, oh man, I wish I got to see them, because there were going to be a lot more fans, coming up, throughout the years. And this is one of the next chances to, see Rush. And they're going out with, a new drummer who, as you guys heard stated, she worked with Jeff Beck. And, if you worked with someone as accomplished as Jeff Beck, you're pretty much, eyed for the job, Now, I have never heard of the drummer, so we're going to actually see if we can, see, what's going on with that. And here it is from what I can see, if I can pull it up. Yo, here it is, Rush 2026 tour. So you can actually, the tickets. So it looks like the tickets are on sale now. So I'm going to actually make sure if that is right or not, because I do want to go over, these dates and everything. So I'm trying to see. So it's not going to be this gigantic tour. It is not going to be something where they are going to multiple. They're not going to multiple cities. Well, they are, but they're not doing like a gigantic, full-blown tour. So obviously, you guys saw that it is called the 50-something. The 50-something tour. It's a North American tour, but I feel like it's probably going to go into Europe. It might. But the 50-something tour is starting off. These are the 2026 dates as of right now. They are starting the tour off in Los Angeles at the amazing Kia Forum. Very, very legendary venue. The Kia Forum, so many people have played there. It's a big arena. And they're doing 2 nights there on June 6th and June 9th of 2026. Then they're going into Mexico City, 2 nights on Fort Worth, Texas, Chicago, Illinois, 2 nights, New York City on the 28th and the 30th at Madison Square Garden. And then they are doing 2 shows in their native Canada, Toronto, Ontario, at Scotiabank Arena. And they are closing the show off in where rock and roll was born from, at the Rocket Arena in Cleveland, Ohio. So I was definitely looking at, being from Philly, I was looking at the New York dates because I would love to go and see this and see them. But I already know this is probably going to be, a high ticket. And a lot of people are going to be like, oh, no Neil Peart, it's not Rush. This is still a big part of music history. And they're not going out stating, we're the new Rush. No, as you guys saw in the video, they're going to do something every single night. They are going to have a time during the show where they are going to, pay tribute to the great Neil Peart. And I am really excited to see, that. So I'm definitely going to be trying. I'm not stating that it is a definite, but I would, hate to miss out on this if I had to. And, a couple hours away, not terrible. So it would be very doable. Now, another thing that they said, in their video message was what actually, sparked this, which was playing their songs. Because the first time that Rush, reunited like that in that kind of capacity was for the Taylor Hawkins tribute concert. If you guys don't know who Taylor Hawkins is, he was a big Rush fan. He was the drummer of the Foo Fighters from 1997 until he unfortunately passed away in 2022. There was a gigantic tribute concert, one at the Kia Forum, but the main one that a lot of people now know is the Wembley Stadium one. And Rush came out and played YYZ at the Wembley Stadium one, and I just thought it was great seeing, Alex and Geddy up on stage again. Another time that they did reunite, but it wasn't a full, reunion for anything, was, believe it or not, at the South Park 25th anniversary concert. Geddy and Alex came out and played Closer to the Heart, which was pretty funny because you had Matt Stone on the drums with Primus's drummer as well, who was probably a lot more accomplished than Matt. But Matt killed it. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, and I think it was one of those things where, again, they did the farewell tour in 2015. They spoke to their word. Neil unfortunately passed away. But, I feel like as an artist, and a lot of people have said this multiple times, it's sometimes you get the itch to just go and do something, whether that be new music, a couple of shows like this, and this is, again, something that's limited. They're not going fully crazy on it. Probably due to the fact that, Alex and Geddy are in their they're in their 60s and late 60s, early 70s. I know that. So they're getting they're not obviously they still look great, but obviously you gotta have to take into consideration that these guys are not the biggest, they're not the youngest guys, but they're also very, very good. I feel like they honestly have looked the same for the past 30 years. But Geddy and Alex, they're in their 70s, and you kind of just have to take into consideration, that this is just going to be something that's going to be easy for them to do. And what I do like about it is where they do have, if they are doing 2 shows, it's one night you get a show, and then the next night the next night they have a break before going out on a show like that, which I think is the best way to do. But they're giving people in each city, they're giving enough people they're kind of doing everything. They're doing their East Coast fans, the Midwest, and that West Coast. No matter where you kind of are in all of North America, they're also doing, giving Mexico fans a chance, and that might be some Texas fans as well, probably trying to go over to Mexico for, the show. And they have, the Canada fan, the Toronto fans. They're getting basically all of North America is getting covered in some way. And I can already tell you, because I also saw it, although I wasn't there, I saw it with the Oasis reunion. there were a lot of people coming from all over the place. There were people in England, where Oasis is from, that literally came to the States to the shows in like Jersey and Los Angeles because they could not get a ticket, you know, in their home state. So I could see a lot of people, you know, making the trips, you know, all the way around to kind of see, you know, to try to make this gig. But I also wanted to bring up their new drummer because I kind of wanted to, you know, see who this is. So her name is Annika Niles. And what we see is, I'm going to see if I can get some information up on her, and I'm going to see if I can pull up an actual, I'm going to put a photo up on her. So she's a German drummer, and she has worked with Jeff Beck, which is what they said, which is where Getty said that they found her from. And, you know, Jeff Beck was also a very, you know, persistent, you know, guy. But it looks like they have a lot of faith in her. And according to this, like, she is a very, very skilled drummer. It looks like she's also very, you know, popular on YouTube. So, yeah, I definitely don't think that this is going to be a bad choice. I was also trying to think about, like, because I had not seen the full video until now. I was trying to think about who could have been, you know, the drummer, you know, for Rush. And I could really I started thinking maybe Jason Bonham, who is, you know, the son of the late John Bonham. I could think maybe they would have get him out because he's definitely more than capable to do it. I started thinking of people like the guy that they ended up playing with at the Taylor Hawkins tribute show, who was one of the guest musicians there. Dave Grohl, maybe, but I know he's doing stuff with the Foo Fighters. That would have been kind of funny, though, because Dave is also a gigantic Rush fan. But no, I'm definitely really, really excited to see how all of this, you know, kind of comes together, you know, in these next, you know, few months, you know. And a lot of people are saying, oh, well, what about money? What about time? You guys have enough time. It is for the summer of next year. Like, say, for example, if you're a Rush fan and you really are planning on going on one of the shows, but you're already stressing, you have enough time. But obviously, are the tickets on sale now? I'm going to check Rush's website real quick and actually see if I can see if the tickets are on sale. And you got full prices. We are thrilled. So it is for pre-sale. The pre-sale starts on Friday, October 10th. So that's literally this. So this Friday, from when you watch this, 4 days from now, this Friday, October 10th at 12 p.m. local time, you guys can get into the pre-sale for the cities for the US shows, the Canadian and the Mexico City ones. They all start October 10th. So this is going to be something that is either going to sell out right away and get scalped, or it's going to be you're going to be reasonably able to get tickets. These venues are all big. They're all pretty big arenas. But yeah, so the last words I'm going to leave you guys with is good luck trying to get some of these tickets, because a lot of buzz is happening. A lot of people are excited. I'm definitely excited, and I'm going to try to get one. But I am going to leave you guys with some words with that one of these other like music historian, like music news channel goes. Ian Scotto Rocks, by the way. Go and subscribe to Ian Scotto Rocks. If you guys are like a music fan, he's very, very good, and he very, very much knows his like rock history and his music history. If you guys are worrying about scalpers or worrying about ticket expensive, even the day of the concert, and you guys can see scalpers are just trying to get rid of the tickets at that point, you can find them for pretty cheap. Like, I remember paying, you know, $70 for Panic at the Disco on their final tour when a bunch of the other tickets were in the triple digits, but I was able to get the good seats. But you can literally get tickets for $20-$30 the day of. You know, you can find a good one for reasonably priced once the scalpers are done. But yeah, anyway, guys, I hope everyone's excited, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't, because in my opinion, you always need topics in your life. And remember, always come back to Isaiah Rivers Topics, as we're going to be going over a lot more topics in the topic news and everything. And until I see you guys again, this is Isaiah Rivers Topics, signing off.